David from Porch Ideas and More, and today I'm going to show you how to make a privacy partition. We're going to do it on our back porch to give us a little bit more privacy when we need it. So basically what I did before is I made this frame. I used vinyl, black vinyl and lattice, and we'll show you where to get all that on our site. But I made this out of treated 2x4s, and I'm going to show you how I did that. It's a real simple frame to put this in, and what we're going to do is I'm going to replicate this on this side of our back porch, because what we've had before to give us a little privacy is this outdoor curtain that Mary made that we use, that we could pull across when we want a little privacy when we're eating out here or something like that. So what we're going to do though is we're going to replicate this one. I'm going to put one over here and I'll show you how we did it. Yeah, there's lots of ways to do this. This is one way to do it, and hopefully this will give you some ideas. Next we'll go in the shop and I'll show you kind of how I cut the boards and everything for you. And we'll have more specific details on our website. So come along and join us, and I'll show you how to make this really quickly. Okay, so now we're in the shop, and I'm going to show you what I did in order to make this frame. Basically, I bought two 8-foot treated 2x4s, and I got these for about $4.17 a piece. I did two because my span is about 7 feet long, and I need the vertical stiles are 22 inches, so I had to get two 2x4s, and that depends on what your distance you're going to span. So what I did is I ripped this on the table saw in half to give me my bottom rails for my panel, and I'll show you that in just a second. But if you set your saw at 1 11/16, you pretty much have two equal pieces on a 2x4. So that's treated 2x4. My vertical posts are 22 inches, so what I'm going to do is, instead of ripping this all the way down, I don't need to do that. I just need about 44 inches, so I'm just going to cut it at about 48 inches, and then we'll rip it on the table saw. Okay, now we're going to take this over to the table saw, and we're going to rip this in half. Okay, we're going to rip this the same way I did the top and bottom rails. We're going to set the saw at 1 11/16, and that'll pretty much give me two equal pieces on this 2x4 that we're going to use. Now I'm going to show you this. I took the splinter off so you can see what I'm doing, but basically we're going to rip it. Now if you don't have a table saw, you can actually, if you have a circular saw, that will work well. If you have a hand saw, you can do it with a hand saw. It might take you a little while, but you could also do it with a hand saw. Circular saw would be easier, but table saw comes in really handy. Okay, now we have all the stiles and rails cut for our frame, and so the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and cut a groove, a dado in here, to accept the vinyl lattice panels, and we'll show you how that's done in just a second. Now we've got pieces cut to lengths, and that depends on how big a panel you want to make and how wide and how tall. So these are all cut to length already. So the next step is cutting a dado or a groove to accept the lattice. And I've got just a sample piece of lattice, but that will fit inside this groove that you cut, and it'll be all the way around the frame. So it's a quarter. This happens to be a 1/4 inch. This is extremely good lattice. So if you're in the market for something that's durable and great, and in fact this comes custom designed, you can even create your own design. So this is a wonderful product, and you can see more about it on our website. So I've cut the grooves or the dados in these pieces. Now on the stiles, or the upright pieces, I'm going to have obviously one on each end of the length, but I'm also going to have one in the middle, because this happens to be 85 inches long. To support this and to accommodate the lattice vinyl panels, one of the stiles, the one that will be in the middle, is dadoed on both sides to accept the panels. And you'll see that when we put it together. So that's our next step. Now the next step is to cut another dado to accept this middle stile. And we'll do that in the middle of the two rails. So this fits together nicely. Hey, one more thing. There's always one more thing. So if you don't have a dado blade for your table saw, you can use just a straight blade, and just move it over so you can get the groove, the 1/4 inch or whatever, however thick your lattice is for that part of it. Now if you're doing this by hand and you don't have a table saw, one way you can do this, instead of being able to cut a groove in here, is create your own groove and I'm just going to demonstrate this a little bit for you, is just take two pieces of wood, and you can put them on here and then tack them in and glue them. But just to show you, you can just put those in there so to accommodate that. So then you can put those on, glue them in, tack them in with screws or whatever, and then you have a groove to fit this in, and you don't have to cut anything. You don't have to cut a groove. So I just wanted to show you, for those of you who don't have a table saw. So, okay, everybody, I've got the frame, as you can see. Mary, I'll pan down to show you here. I just kind of dry fitted it together. All the dados have been cut, the center stile has been put in, and I've got the measurements and things on our website, or a link to our website. You can see all the measurements and everything we did. But basically, you can do this. I do it on a table saw with a dado blade, but you can do it on a table saw with just a regular blade, or you can do it with a actual saw and chisel if you need to do that. So it's not that hard to figure out. But I have all the stuff on the website for that. So I've got the frame made. Now I'm going to cut the lattice, so come with me, and I want to show you the lattice, and then we're going to cut the lattice, the inserts to go in the frame. All right, we're going to cut the lattice panels to go in our frame. Basically, I want to take just a second and show you this. This is really durable lattice. This is not something you're going to find in stock at Home Depot or Lowe's. This is a 1/4 inch thick. You can get it thicker than that. The color is actually throughout, so if it scratches or something, you're still going to see it. This happens to be black, which is a very popular color and hard to find. So I have a link to where you can get it. Curio Lattice Works. We'll have that link on our site. This is not a promo. We're not getting paid anything for saying that. I use this lattice a lot, and it's just a great product, very good product. So what we're going to do is I've measured my frame. I know what size I need to cut this. Remember, when you measure, remember you have a dado in there. You've got to take into account the depth of those dados, because it's going to fit into that. So we're going to put that in. This will cut on the table saw really easily. So we'll cut this, and then we'll fit them into our panels. We've already assembled it, and all I'm doing is throwing some stain on it, and then we'll put it up on our back porch, and we'll have a little privacy. So stay with us to see how it turns out. All right, we've got our privacy panel up on our back porch, and it looks great. And I think it's going to do a great job for us, giving us a little bit of privacy, especially when we're out here eating dinner or something. Originally, I planned this to be something that I could just have hinged and I could put up when I wanted to, but we decided that it looked good enough that we would just keep it up all the time. So when I measured across, I made sure that I had enough room to raise and lower it. So that left a gap on each side. So what I did is I just cut an L out of treated lumber, an L-shaped wedge, so to speak, and I screwed that into the column, and then I screwed it into the stiles of the panels. So there you have it. It's in there solid, looks great, and visit our website, which will have a lot more information about and pictures of how to do this and some other tips. Thanks a lot.